Arizona State could be in trouble. Sam Leavitt is now out for the rest of the season with a foot injury, and this is not a disastrous season for Arizona State, but it's been a rocky one for sure. And Leavitt's been one of the biggest reasons why. Not because of his play, but because he hasn't been able to stay on the field for a consistent period of time. And this is a guy who has a lot of impact on this team. And now we have to talk about what's next for the Sun Devils. Now, the obvious answer we go to is Jeff Sims is going to take over. And so far, Jeff Sims has not been the answer. It has been a significant drop off between Sam Leavitt and Jeff Sims, and they've had to turn to Sims quite a bit because of Sam Leavitt's injury. So I think that that's really tough for an Arizona State team that was hoping to get back to the college football playoff. And now they turn to a quarterback that hasn't had the experience or the success that they've wanted. Now, Leavitt is going to be missed for multiple different reasons. First is, his ability to make smart decisions, be a good leader for this team, and take care of the football. This year, he threw for over 1,600 yards, 10 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. In terms of running, there were times where he carried the team, literally 73 carries for 300 yards and 5 touchdowns. Now, that is going to be missed. That much is very obvious, but it's a challenge that the coaching staff knows that they have to figure out. And if there's a guy that's resilient enough to figure it out, it's Kenny Dillingham. More on him here in just a little bit. But you turn things to Jeff Sims, and Jeff Sims' career has been full of, well, maybe now is the time that he'll get it. Maybe this is the game that he'll break through. We just haven't seen it. That has never been the answer we received from him, is that he is willing and ready to deliver. And he hasn't done that consistently. And so far this year, it's clear why Sam Leavitt is QB1. That wasn't really a debate, but you see it every week when Jeff Sims takes over. So the big question is, how do they change their offense? Now, the problem is that this year it's been very obvious that Arizona State wants to run the football, and they are going to hope that their passing attack can do something for them. Now, Jeff Sims does give you the running option, so that is a little bit of a bonus. However, teams know that they want to run the football. Raleek Brown's emergence has been great with 121 carries for 706 yards and 3 touchdowns. He's averaging 5.8 yards per carry. But now teams are going to key in on the fact that they are going to run the football. So how do you negate that? Well, the answer is to go to Jordan Tyson. The problem is that Jordan Tyson has been, for the most part, the only consistent threat for this offense in the passing attack. He leads the team with 57 catches for 628 yards and 8 touchdowns. When it comes to completions, it's just very obvious that this team wants to throw him the ball. Now, the problem is that he also hasn't been healthy either consistently. So is he going to play? That is a question for the remainder of the season. Because if he is able to play, that at least gives you some peace of mind. Now, if he's not, you're also then going to your second best option, which, by the way, Raleek Brown, your starting running back, is the second leading reception person on your team with 27. The next guy is Shimon Mateer with 25. Those are the only 3 guys that have 20 or more catches this year. So that's a problem. Your starting quarterback goes down. Your starting wide receiver has struggled to stay healthy as well. And your starting running back is your second best option in the passing attack. I'm not saying that this is going to be a disaster. I'm just saying that this is trouble for Arizona State. And on top of that, now you're worried about what your coach is going to be doing. So say that Kenny Dillingham has success the rest of the year. Either way, if he does, if he doesn't. They're currently 5-3, and their schedule has plenty of obstacles ahead. You're playing Iowa State this weekend on the road. You play West Virginia, Colorado, and Arizona. So while those last 3 games aren't exactly the most challenging, the Arizona game is going to be tough. I think Colorado is better than their record might indicate. and West Virginia is just a wild card. But say that you do finish the year strong. Say for just the sake of this video, say you finish 3-1. So you finish the year 8-4. Kenny Dillingham is already being linked to a number of other big time jobs. He's already being sent elsewhere, if you will. So what is going to happen with this team if now you add the injuries that you're already sustaining, and then you also add in the distraction of your coach leaving? Not saying that Kenny Dillingham is a distraction, because if there's one guy that's going to be professional and be honest to his team, you'd probably bet Kenny Dillingham is on that list. I don't have concerns about him being a distraction. However, he is just getting so much recognition, and with how big and wide open this coaching carousel cycle is, there are opportunities for him to take. And I know that people are going to talk about, well, he loves Arizona State. He's going to stay there forever. I hate to say it, and I do want to see that. Let me just start with that. I want Kenny Dillingham to stay at Arizona State forever. I don't want him to leave. Well, I think we're naive to think that this is a world of college football where you're going to get that. It is very rare for coaches to stay somewhere for a long time, even if it is a place that they love. Everybody has a price. Everybody has to look out for their families. There is a price that will get Kenny Dillingham out of Tempe, Arizona, that will get him out of Arizona State and to another job. It's just the nature of the sport. It has nothing really to do with Kenny Dillingham other than he is a good football coach that knows how to build a program and is going to be an attractive candidate for whoever wants to take him. But for Arizona State, that means that it's going to be hard to stay focused with all of this adversity in your face. Can you bounce back and find a way to rally around this? Can you find a way to have a strong showing against an Iowa State team that is going to still compete for a Big 12 championship, that is very tough to beat and has plenty of strong players to have to figure out? That is going to be a big question. And this Sam Leavitt injury sucks. It just does. Injuries are the worst part about sports because you can't really control what happens. You don't get to dictate when someone is going to sustain an injury or not. And Sam Leavitt is one of the more exciting college football players to watch. His value that he brings to Arizona State, as well as what he does for that passing attack, specifically Jordan Tyson, it just makes it so much better for this team. But the fact that he's not going to be able to go the rest of the year really sucks. That sucks so much. And I wish that wasn't going to be the case, but here we are. And again, Arizona State from last year dealt with adversity. They found a way to get to the college football playoff. And while the playoff is probably not in the cards anymore, this is still a team that can have a strong showing. And even if things go a different direction and people leave, you can still at least know that you had a good, strong finish to your season. And there's some pride to be felt in that. In a world where everybody talks about the transfer portal, NIL, all the things that are wrong, there are still some values that Kenny Dillingham is teaching. And this is a team that is going to value a strong finish, maybe more so than a lot of other teams in the rest of college football. It just sucks that they're going to have to do it without their QB1.